uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports,
Actions over words, baby boy, are you real or what? Shout out to my guy Low Key, man. What's going on with you? Hey, everybody that's in the building, the all thousands of you that has gathered once again for a live stream. I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Real talk, I appreciate you. On this Thursday. It's one more day closer to that day that pretty much closes out the week for festivities. You know what I'm saying? We one day closer to Friday for some of y'all. Unless you work in shift work. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're on shift work, then you work through the weekend like anything else sometime. And then the weekends don't freaking matter. Just a paycheck. What's good? Hopefully everyone's doing great, man. This is Ryan Garcia episode. And this is an attempt to do a reaction to the presser that was had between Ryan Garcia and Emmanuel Tagoe. I want to say Tagoe. You understand what I'm getting at, right? So, obviously, the bigger question is, is Ryan Garcia pretty much dedicated to what's going on with his hourglass right now? And what I mean by hourglass, he has so much youth to him that he can continue to flip that hourglass back and forth over and over again. He has options, man, when it comes to this boxing game. Ryan Garcia is young in the game, man. And, I think he's just trying to figure out how he's trying to go about his calendar, how he's trying to basically handle his itinerary or his timeline or his spreadsheet of achievements that he wants to accomplish. Canelo Alvarez had been on record as pretty much saying some discouraging remarks about Ryan Garcia. He's not disciplined and so forth. And Ryan Garcia pretty much absquatulated from Eddie Reynoso over to Joe Goossen. And I will have to say, I am still a bit critical of Ryan Garcia, but I will have to say I was pretty impressed with just the routine mitt training that was going on between him and Joe. I mean, his chin was down and he was working on technique. He has the speed, and Ryan Garcia, believe it or not, has decent power. But they was working on his lead hand. You know what I'm saying? They was working on his power hand too. But one of the videos out there, they're attempting to teach Ryan Garcia technique. Remediate technique with your speed and power. Remediate. Hold on for a second. All right. So they've pretty much been working on both sides of Ryan Garcia's technical cachet, man, which is great for Ryan. Um, he's very young. You know what I'm saying? And like I said before, he's changed coaches in the past, and he's with a different coach right now. Now, slicing this in all fairness, right? I think it was pretty decent of Ryan Garcia to leave Eddie Reynoso because Eddie does have a name, and to some fighters they would choose to stay right there in the stable. Why? Because not only Eddie Reynoso, but all the other names, fighters that he have in the stable. Some fighters would be pretty much content to stay in the company of Canelo Alvarez. You know what I'm saying? The Oscar Valdez. You're talking about multi-weight champions. I mean, I'm just saying some fighters were pretty much capitulate to that. And then they say, hey, whenever he get around to training me, he'll get around to training me. But that's one check in the box I'll give Ryan Garcia. I'll tell you that he was listening to somebody. I don't know if he was listening to Oscar De La Hoya or whoever, but he changed up trainers. And now he's getting ready for Emmanuel Tago. The big part about this is, of course, how he is going to look against Tago. A Ghana fighter. The Ghana fighters are very tough. And he's older than Garcia. But I look at it like this, man. The rumor is out in the air. Like Ryan gets past Tago, he may be in the running for a possible shot at the titles. I don't know. Because at the end of the day, people are mesmerized at Ryan Garcia's social media numbers. They will compliment him for his youth and his looks and his marketability in the sport of boxing. So they give him all the praise in the world when it comes to this. Hold on for a second. Hey, DBMH in the building. Salute to you, my brother. Good morning to you. So they give him, they praise him for his marketability and everything like that. And Ryan Garcia, he has the potential to cross-thread professions from boxing to Hollywood. He has that snick right now. You know what I'm saying? He can do it. But at this point in time, he needs to find a way to elevate his career outside of that interim title. He truly needs to. And if it is true, let's just say he gets past Emmanuel Tago. Because earlier they was up here saying that, Ryan Garcia, Emmanuel Tago, we already know who managed Tago and who manages Camboso. So we at a moment right now, we at the intersection, we waiting for the light to turn. Why? Because, Luda Bella, if you're talking about who's his so-called moneymaker out of these two fighters, obviously that is Ryan Garcia. So I'm trying to be positive. I'm trying to sit up here and say, well, I'm not going to assume that Tago is already going to lose the fight. Like I mentioned all the time about Chavez Jr. We knew he was going to lose that fight because Canelo and Gennady was already signed. I'm getting that feeling a bit. With Lomachenko back at home, with his good friend Alexander Usyk. So I'm looking at this, right? I'm saying, well, if any of it has merit, that Ryan Garcia may potentially face Kambosos next. I'm talking about next after Tago. There's no way Tago's winning. This is just formality for which I'm looking at. And you. It's formality, bro. We done seen this over time and time again. This is called formality. Formality can be presented in many different ways. You can dress it up however you want to. But sometimes we get so used to looking at this formality. We want it to end different. We in denial. But I'm telling you, if they are already trying to schedule this fight for Kambosos, man, Tago is going to take another L for the check. And then they're going to move on. And then they're going to build up this fight with Ryan Garcia. And look, the crazy part about it, look, this is wild. This is absolutely wild, man. That Ryan Garcia pulled out of so many fights, did what he did, had a subpar performance against Luke Campbell. This is the wild, wild west when it comes down to it, because Ryan may potentially get his shot at the titles when he's did less work. You understand what I'm saying? If you take the three slices of pie, right? You take the Devin Haney, Vasily Lomachenko, and then there's Ryan Garcia. Out of the three slices of pie of the top names in the lightweight division who could contend for the Kambosos fight, if Ryan Garcia is next in line, he would have taken the less intensive route to somewhat validate why he should be next for the unified champion. He would have taken the easiest route, so to speak, because he haven't fought in 15 months. He's coming back and fighting Emmanuel Tagoe from Ghana. And then, just so happened, there's a commonality connection between Tagoe and Kambosos. So once again, we know boxing. We've been around the sport long enough. We're looking at it like, well, it's no way if this is really true, if they're gonna go up here and make Garcia Camboso, then Tagoe has no way of winning. But the wild part that I mentioned earlier is you have more people beginning to tune in to Ryan Garcia. You know why? Because there's nothing else to pay attention to. Lomachenko is in his home country. Devin Haney, the word was put out that they outpriced themselves. So people are a bit, feeling some type of way about that, area of conflict. And that only leaves two other people. That leaves Ryan Garcia and that leaves Gervonta Davis. We all know Gervonta Davis is set to face Rolly Romero. We understand that shit. But imagine if Ryan Garcia gets a shot with Kambosos and he beats him. Now we have another Hispanic fighter, young. Because Canelo right now is pretty young. He's still, when I say young, I'm talking about he can be in the game for another 5 years if you want to. He can. But imagine, it's either T.O., Ryan Garcia. It's not going to be Oscar Valdez. He just don't have that star power like that. But when you come to the Latino fighters, the next one that they're going to get that boost behind, I know for sure it's going to be Teofimo Lopez. And Ryan Garcia has that potential too. But they just can't jump behind him right now because, for one, in the sport of boxing, he still has a lot of growth to do when it comes to maturity. You know what I'm saying? Now that he's removed himself from the shadow of Canelo Alvarez, people, fighters remove themselves from trainers all the time. But now that he removed himself, we have to see how his performance looked like against Tagoe. And then this is where I'm coming in at. I'm just doing constructive critique. Some people call it constructive criticism. I'm curious to know if I'm totally wrong, you know what I'm saying? We're prognosticating something like this, that Tagoe is not in here to win at all. He's here for a check. He's going through the motion. He's going to move around with Ryan Garcia for the first half of the fight and may potentially present a knockdown or go the distance. If Tagoe goes in here and loses badly to somehow, beautify Ryan Garcia's chances of stepping in there with Kambosos, guess what? It proves my point. That's where we at. It proves my motherfucking point. If he goes in here and he has this stellar knockout, you know what I'm saying? Like he's knocked out some people in the past that you didn't think he would knock out. For one, his last opponent, Luke Campbell. That was 15 months ago. You know what I'm saying? If he goes in here and do some shit like that, and people start jumping up and down, You're gonna have those same people on the Ryan Garcia's wagon again. They don't care if it has three wheels or not. They're gonna ride it like it's the most plush ride ever. Because Ryan Garcia is another fighter in the lightweight division that they get to pay attention to now. It used to be five. They used to talk about the Lomachenko, the Devin Haney, the Ryan Garcia, Gervonta Davis, and Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo is since left the division. Lomachenko's gone. Devin Haney is wherever he's at right now. So we left with Gervonta Davis, who it would have been good for him to get the Kambosos fight, but I think he would have knocked out Kambosos in 4 or 5 rounds with the style Kambosos have. You know what I'm saying? Um, I would love to see him counter Gervonta. You know what I'm saying? I would love to try to see him fight Gervonta on the inside. That'd be easy work. But for Ryan Garcia, who fights tall, who fights flat-footed, in my opinion, that may stylistically make him look pretty decent. Going in there against Kambosos, because the reason I'm saying this is because Ryan Garcia flat-footed will allow Kambosos the ability to counter shots from Ryan Garcia. You know what I'm saying? Because both of them are not these mobile fighters. You know what I'm saying? So if he's going to try to stay close to Ryan Garcia to counter him, we all know Ryan Garcia has better hand speed. You know what I'm saying? And also, he has a questionable chin. So for Team Kambosos, they might try to stay close to Ryan, who's a flat-footed fighter who loves sitting down on his punches. Just so they can try to counter him, touch him on the chin, and see, what the results can be. But my point is, my whole point for the live today is this was just a formality, bro. Like, I don't see anything else to talk about. I don't see, like yesterday I was talking about Errol Spence and Yordenis Ugas. I don't see that press conference as a formality. Because boxing give us every reason to be conspirators. We can sit up here and we want to talk positive about the sport of boxing all the time, but how shit plays out, it turns into one of those Stephen King novels. They have these twists and turns and plots and suspense and climaxes and shit, and it's always some type of damn deceptiveness involved in some of these decisions. And we don't want to go around here and say that for every fight. But if I was to take the presser that I said yesterday, I say, well, that's going to be a good fight, for the unified championship. It was suspense. But for this Ryan Garcia fight with Tago, if their plans is to fight Kambosos, well, he's just going through the damn steps, man. He's just going through the motion. He's going to go in there. He's going to put in a little work because, he knows how to box. And a roundabout way, this shit going to go down the way it goes down. And that's going to be the Ryan Garcia having his hand raised, whether it's via early stoppage or the final bell. That's all I'm thinking about. King Mitch on deck. What's good with you, King Mitch? Salute to you. Everybody's in the building. I don't want to make it about a turbulent prediction, right? I don't want to have everything involving Ryan Garcia to be negative, because just as I was talking about how lit the lightweight division was several months ago, it has somewhat smoldered right now, diminished. Like it's wild how the tides turn. Like now, it just seems like some of the some of the heat from the lightweight divisions moved up to 140 right now. I'm saying you have a lot of anticipation at 140. You still have some hitters down that lightweight division, but we can attest to this, right? We never heard that Ryan Garcia was gaffing off training, so to speak, conditioning, because he's made weight, this, that, and the other. But Canelo Alvarez put it out that he wasn't disciplined, and he may not be in the gym like he's supposed to, or it might have been like Ryan Garcia was doing other things because he knew Eddie Reynoso wasn't paying him any attention. But what we do know, and what people don't want to talk about, is the fact that he was dropped by Luke Campbell fairly easy. So the biggest question when it comes down to it, does Ryan Garcia have a chin strap or not? How do we grade his beard when it comes to boxing? That's a big question with Ryan Garcia. He has the boxing ability. Ryan Garcia has the height to go up 3 more divisions. Seriously, Ryan Garcia has the height. He has that ability. He has the frame. You know what I'm saying? He don't come off to me as just frail individual, but I'm just trying to see if his beard is grade A1 still. Was it put together correctly? You know, when he was being manufactured, was it something that you had a work on there that had been written up for dereliction of duty, and he took his time on Ryan Garcia's chin when he was being born? You know, somebody was at 9. I'm thinking about lunch, man. I'm hungry as shit, man. I'm just gonna put this shit together, man. Hey, don't even test that shit out, man. Yeah, you know what it is, man. I had a hard night last night. I ain't get a lot of shit done. I'm tired. I'm not gonna give him the quality material because you're running low and I forgot to order. I'm gonna give him this simple shit right here, man. He ain't gonna be shit anyway. I wonder if somebody was, derelicting their duty when Ryan Garcia was entering this earth and gave him a motherfucking styrofoam chin. I hope not. I hope he's not that guy, because Ryan said he planned on reigning for another 20 years. That's the plan. He said he want to reign for 20 years. So in order for him to reign for 20 fucking years, I don't even think Ryan knew what the fuck he was talking about. You know what I'm saying? 20 years put you like at 42, right? How old is Ryan? Let me see how old Ryan Garcia is. I don't think Ryan Garcia really thinks about what he says sometimes, but let me see how old this youngin' is. If anybody in the chat knows, let me know. Bro, he's 23 years old. So let's say 43. That's 20 years. So he's planning on being in boxing 40 till he's 43 years old. It's quite contrary to what he's spoken in the past. You know, he kind of made a point that he wasn't going to be in here that long. 26 might be, the year that he dip out and go to the silver screen. You know what I'm saying? He may be thinking about going to the silver screen. And once he get over there and start making some money with less damage and intensive effort to his body, he ain't coming back to this square. He might show up for a fight or two, especially if he's in a movie. Like mark my word, man. This is another prediction I'm making. However you want to call it. I believe they're gonna put Ryan Garcia in Creed. It may not be the next Creed, but they're gonna put Ryan Garcia in a Creed sooner or later. And Ryan is not gonna be a trainer or anything. He's gonna be a fighter in Creed. Mark my word, I'm telling you. They getting him primed and ready. Because he got the face for it, he has the youth. And so far, like the fighters they put in there has been pretty much older fighters. You feel me? It's only a matter of time they're going to put Ryan Garcia up in there in Creed. Seriously. Don't say I ain't tell you. Don't say I ain't tell you. They're going to put Ryan Garcia in a Creed. I don't know if it's going to be the next one that's coming out, but Creed's going to be around for a while. Ryan ain't shit. He won't be in boxing game much longer. I understand where you're coming from, Mitch. I can't even be mad at you for feeling the way you do, bro. I get it, bro. You know what I'm saying? I can't even be mad at all. Not even a twitch. Not even a twinge. I can't even be mad at you for saying that, because He's a capion, bro. Ryan Garcia is the Mr. Capion, man. That's what he is. But the part about it is, I said this before, is that people give Ryan Garcia a pass for being goofy. They say he's young, he's youthful, and he's quirky. Hey, don't worry about that. Stop being so hard on the guy. He has some growing up to do. Stop being so hard on him. He has such a bright future. Sing along with me. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. That's what they say about Ryan Garcia. He has that little bitty light on in his head that flickers. And people say, don't worry about him. He's just young and goofy. But he has kids already. So we can't sit up here and say he's young and goofy. He has kids, man. He's a father, bro. You know what I'm saying? This man is a father. And Ryan Garcia, if indeed the word is true, we should expect Tagu to come in here and just give us, an expectation and then a result and move on to the next for Ryan Garcia. There's not going to be any type of electric duelship between these guys. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be one of those betting, these fights that the betting odds are crazy and people don't know what's going on. It's not going to be something uncontrollable like that. Canelo said Ryan will come to the gym for 20 minutes and leave. Ryan said it wasn't true. This is dumbass coddling father all but confirmed that Canelo said. Let's just say Ryan Garcia did come to the gym for 20 minutes. When did he come to the gym for 20 minutes? Was it his training session? Was he getting work? Like what would you come in for the gym for 20 minutes? It takes fighters 20 minutes just to walk in the gym and get themselves situated and get ready to start training. You know what I'm saying? Fighters don't come in that motherfucker with gloves already on. They ain't driving their cars with goddamn 12-ounce gloves on. They're not driving up to the gym with hand wraps on. I mean, so if he was coming for 20 minutes, that means he wasn't doing shit. Because I know he coming to the gym, you got situated like I said, get yourself right, do a little stretching. Man, come on, man. It took Crawford more than 20 minutes just to warm up before he sparred down here. So that's some bullshit. That means if he came up in the gym, stood around, and he left. What are you going to do in 20 minutes? I can see if he said he only worked out for 20 minutes. But he's pretty much saying he came in the gym for only 20 minutes. Man, he ain't do shit. He said, I don't give a fuck how old Ryan is. Hey, Mitch, I know, bro. He said, yo, give a fuck. But I bet you give a fuck if you goddamn ran up on him and they were singing This Little Light of Mine. Hey, Mitch, join me, guy. Come on, guy, join me. It's all my IG followers here. Hey, if you can, take your mobile phones and turn the flashlight on, please. We're gonna sing This Little Light of Mine. Man, don't let me catch you out here with no selfies, Mitch, with Ryan Garcia, because you ran into him on the street, and y'all up there singing, goddamn, This Little Light of Mine. Ryan gonna let it shine. Ryan will be out of boxing well before he's 30. Well, I'm just saying, Ryan said in the press conference that he's playing a 20-year reign. And I'm looking at his age. I'm like, 20 years? You're going to be in your 40s before you get out this game. And if it serves me correctly, I would assume that once Ryan Garcia start getting those Hollywood checks, if he's able to handle it, now, boxing is going to be a distant memory. Believe me, I truly think that boxing is going to be a distant memory for Ryan Garcia once he start, receiving those Hollywood checks, man. Because he's already in the process of filming a movie, right? And this is the dilemma that I think about all the time. Okay, is he filming this movie and he's going to take a little bit of time off to just focus because comes out the winner against Tago and he gets the Kambosos fight, he cannot be damn switching up in between because he's going to go in there and get beat. So he's really going to have to situate himself in a single location, focus on the trainer that he has in Goossen, and get his shit together. Don't be switching back and forth to Hollywood to the ring. That shit only happen if you filming Creed and you're getting paid for the shit. But don't be switching back and forth to Hollywood and the ring trying to step in there against Kambosos, because we all know Kambosos is representing Australia. He considers himself the emperor, and he's going to go in there if he can get a name on his record like Ryan Garcia and be the first one to defeat him. He's going to do that. And that would elevate Kambosos' paycheck and his worth, his Wall Street in boxing to a whole nother level. Just off his damn win over Ryan Garcia, who's not even established yet. That's crazy, ain't it? Ryan Garcia is not even established yet, but Kambosos beat him. They will basically put Ryan Garcia over Lee Selby and Mickey Bay. Ryan warming up them leaves. One bad loss for Ryan, and he's on to acting for real. Shout out to Mello on deck. Mello, you make sense. You're making some sense, bro. You're making some sense. If he get knocked the fuck out, because once again, Luke Campbell was there. He already received the orders. Because when Luke Campbell was dropped by Lomachenko, he didn't retreat into submission up against the ropes. Luke Campbell fought valiantly like an Olympian he is. You know what I'm saying? He represented his chest plate real nice. But that shit he did against Ryan Garcia, he represented what was in his pocket. He just didn't give us that return fire. Like, okay, you knocked him down. He got up, referee call fight. Let's return fire. Let's go. You already dropped him. You know you good. He just retreated. And then the rest is what it is. It was disappointing. But just like Mello said, if he gets knocked the fuck out, that means, let's just say he gets dropped by Emmanuel Tago. It's going to look bad on Ryan. Right? But guess what? It's going to only motivate Kambosos to take the fight. Because now he's going to say, oh, that's easy work. Let's just say he gets dropped in there with Tago, but wins. Kambosos is going to take that fight because he feels like he don't have a chin, and he can put that O on his record. He can get Ryan Garcia O on his record. Going into the fight undefeated. And damn, Kambosos has bragging rights that he was the first to do it. The motherfucking landscape is limitless for Kambosos if he get the win over Ryan Garcia. I mean, he can fight damn near anybody he want for a nice little check. And Kambosos is not even a superstar. He just was able to get he was just able to get that shot for the Mandy, and he got it done. But he's not a superstar. Real talk, he's not a superstar. Ryan Garcia, believe it or not, more people still know Ryan Garcia more than they know Kambosos. And then they want to see Ryan Garcia fight even more than they would want to see Kambosos fight, and he has more belts. You know what I'm saying? He has majority of the belts. Because he just has that aura about him right now where people are giving him passes for being goofy and young. And he can get away with some things. So a part of me, I'm not mad at Ryan Garcia for being in the position he is, Because man, boxing don't have a retirement plan. Get in where you fit in and make all the money you can. All the money you can. However you choose to make it. In Hollywood or in the ring, make as much as you possibly can. But don't sit up here and take yourself out of big fights just because you money hungry. What's that word? Sagacious. You greedy with it. Hey, shout out to Bruce Goes Boxing, Jazz, and more in the building. What's good, OG? How you feel, man? Salute my brother Scotty. Salute to you there, Bruce. John Page, Batman on deck, man. What they do there, brother? What's good? They say Devin too good for 135. What do you mean by too good? What do you mean by that there, Batman? Ryan can barely talk. I don't see him going for acting. Bro, believe me, Chase, look at it this way. When you're reading a script, man, believe me, he don't need to say much. He'll get in the habit. You know what I'm saying? They say a lot about Tank when he initially was young and he wasn't doing interviews. Tank has improved tremendously, bro. Tremendously in his interviews. And you know what another part for me being, and shout out to my man Showtime in the building. One thing you learn from being on deck is that you get to see things when the camera go off. And I'm looking at I'm not sure, one of the people that assists damn, I can't believe, I don't know why I said Malik Hawkins. What's the other kid that's around Florida all the time? Damn. I can't. Dark skinned brother. He just turned professional not too long ago. He's over there signed with TMT. It totally left my thought process. God damn. But anyway, I get back to it. John, hey, what you mean? They say Devin too good for on 135. What that mean? I mean, as far as skill wise, Devin is talented. He is one of the best top names at 135, but we want to see him fight the competition. And when that comes around, we can't be flipping two-sided coins. Let's flip this. If it lands on heads, you got to pay me what I ask. Boom. Well, Bill, this is a two-sided coin. It's the same on both sides. Oh, yeah, I know. Oakland, stand up. That's how we do. You can't do that. You can't do that shit. You can't have a two-sided coin when it comes to negotiation. And goddamn, you want the lion's share when you're not the A side. People keep saying the same thing. I don't know, bro. I don't know if it's 100% true or not. But we already know Devin's one of the top fighters at lightweight division. We know that. But when are we going to get to see him perform against the other competition that has value to him stepping in the ring? You know what I'm saying? That value is fighting for the damn unified titles, bro. The Emperor, he funny though. Yeah, Kambosos has his own, personality. He definitely, I don't know, man. He has his own personality or whatever. He talks his shit. He say what he got to say. But I'm not sold on Kambosos. I still feel like he's out here performing. Kambosos up here performing, man. I told everyone on here right from the rip that I didn't get a good feeling from Kambosos and the shit he was talking about. I didn't think he was being genuine about facing Devin Haney and clearing up any confusion. I really felt like he was just being, a voice of politics once again in boxing, just spoon feeding the audience on what they want to hear to get everybody to continue to focus on him doing his little press tour. That's all. He's talking about he wanted to see Devin. He wanted to see Gervonta, but primarily he wanted to see Lomachenko. That's pretty much what it was. He didn't make it a clear, concise determination to the fans and say, yeah, this is what I got. I'm going to fight Devin Haney. Nobody else I'm looking at. Let's get the contract. But once again, I have to get clarification when it comes to the Haneys. When the Bella put the news out there that it was ridiculous, insulting, and preposterous. When you consolidate those three words together in expression, they're all bad in the worst way. So what pissed him off? We really don't know who Kambosos is fighting. I'm just giving you roundabouts. You know what I'm saying? All this is a roundabout. Boxing is just a roundabout type of media outlet. When you talk about boxing, it's a roundabout. Motherfuckers, goddamn, you dip your car in there, you go all around in a circle, you dip out, you dip back in. You know, it's a roundabout, man. Everything's in a circle. Facing Lomachenko, Eddie Hearn say, Devin Kambosos should be done. They should fight around this time. Then you hear Ryan Garcia name come in the picture. Then they might, talk about Gervonta, but yet you hear Rolly Romero's the next step in the ring with Gervonta, but yet this news outlet is talking about as if Gervonta is going to be facing Kambosos. Man, this is unfucking believable, dog. I like Georgie's playing his trump card, all the belts. I agree, Showtime. You know what I'm saying? He absolutely playing his trump card. Absolutely. Jaleel Hackett. There you go. Jaleel Hackett, bro. I seen Jaleel Hackett. They was up there when the cameras was off practicing his media, his public speaking. I forgot the dude's name. I even sat next to him when we was in at the Barclays, man, doing the presser for Deontay Wilder and Dominique Brazil, man. I forgot what his name was. Cool dude. But he was up there working on Jaleel Hackett's PR. You know what I'm saying? Public speaking. You got to work on your public relation and your public speaking. And that's when people think Ryan Garcia is going to go to Hollywood and they're not going to have people practicing and remediating with him, shit, you crazy. Let's not go back in time and some of the people that became movie stars. We don't think they can act worth a damn. I mean, they can speak worth a damn, but they was able to get that damn slot on the screen. You know what I'm saying? Ghost is agreeing with Mitch. Ghost said, I don't believe shit Ryan's saying. Well, this is not really coming from, like, if you want to talk about 20-year reign, none of us believe that shit. All right? None of us believe that shit. But when it comes to the Kambosos situation, that's just something that's being tossed out here, in the media for us to talk about. You know how they put them crumbs in their hand and just sprinkle it out there, and motherfuckers just scramble for goddamn lunchtime. You know what I'm saying? There's some food out there. You didn't get it? Yeah, we put it out there in the parking lot. Look at all the motherfuckers out there scrambling for that shit. That's how the news come out for boxing, man. They just sprinkle the shit out there and everybody, breaking. Why does it have to be so complicated as to who George Kambosos is fighting next? Is it going to be freaking Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, Lomachenko? What the fuck? Tell us something. Truth Bomb on deck, man. What's good with you, bro? Appreciate that info, Showtime. That's what I did with Jahai and Molly. Hey, shout out to who's Jahai Tucker, man, and $1 Million Molly. And my daughters. Yeah, man. Shout out to the coaches and the CEO. You know what I'm saying? Doing their thing over there. You have to teach. Anyone and everyone knows this. You have to teach these fighters how to speak. I mean, I speak about, when I start interviewing these fighters, I always had this little attraction. You know what I'm saying? I would say more than an attraction to looking at a thesaurus. A thesaurus is very, very interesting piece of literature, right? So me from the city, I didn't grow up like this shit. Nothing like that. I just was always fascinated with what it was. And then, of course, people are going to say, oh, you say this, that, and the other. But understand one thing: there's nothing wrong with knowing English. If English is your first language, know there's words to the English vocabulary that's, not used in common dialogue. And this is where the boxers come in at. Look how good and how proficient Gervonta Davis is in the media now. He's very calm. He's very reactive. You know what I'm saying? He used to be way worse than that. Now he's calm. He's been goddamn taught. It's absolutely improved him as a fighter outside of the knockouts that he's been delivering in the ring. Jaleel Hackett. Like I said, I saw him getting his practice. I say, okay, Jaleel Hackett wasn't on this fight card, but yet they bringing this man in here and sitting him at the table once the camera's off, and as if he's doing a post-fight presser. That's called being proactive, bro. That's real talk. Let me get some of these comments. If Ryan told me it's raining outside, I ain't taking no umbrella or raincoat. Oh shit, dog. But Ghost, what have you heard thunder? What you heard thunder, dog? What do you heard thunder? And Ryan was telling you, hey, it's thundering out there, man. You know what I'm saying? You need an umbrella or raincoat. Ghost like, dude, I hear the thunder like you do. But what I don't hear is rain. I don't see none. I don't hear none. I'm good. Talk to y'all tomorrow. It's like this team Ryan has a history of lying. I believe the George thing, the gym thing. I don't buy it. Okay. I really can't speak too much on it, when it comes to the gym thing. Like I said, if you're going to say a guy only comes to the gym for 20 minutes, that means he ain't training at all. And we know that's not true with Ryan. He's training. But we just can't say the man showed up for 20 minutes. How? Did you put him on the clock? What timepiece were you using? You put the man on the clock or what? How do you know he came in for 20 minutes? I mean, come on, Canelo. Whenever I asked Stephen Shaw about his experience in Canelo gym, it was never like what Ryan said. And he'd been there more than a few times to spar, more than just Ruiz and Canelo. That's good shit, bro. That's good shit. That's a good nugget. Ghost, you seem like you've been around, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm just wondering when you're gonna click the link so I can hear your voice. Because you obviously have great knowledge about the boxing, current boxing. I'm talking about real-time boxing that's going on with the fighters today. You know what I'm saying? Not a disjointed gap of talking about, back in 58. Getting my daily boxing fix. You know what it is, man. Appreciate you pulling up, man. It's all good. Hope y'all subscribe to the channel. And that's about as far as I'm going to go with it. I'm not begging people to subscribe to the channel. I'm not. Facts, King. Speaking one of the lost important things, got a Cuban who will be on BFTV soon. The first that I did, let me see. The first that I did was call him, walk him through the interview, and do trial interviews. Yeah. Preparation prevents piss poor performance. You got to always have those P's. Preparation prevents piss poor performance. Yes, indeed. You have to teach guys how to talk, how to deal with media and the cameras, and that to watch for. It helps humanize your brand and always makes you bigger and more relatable. I totally agree with that. I mean, knowing how to speak to someone in just, informal conversation is one layer. Knowing how to speak outside of that informal setting to formal setting and be able to articulate yourself or however you choose to do it with a more extended vocabulary is something that I feel the people should work on. You don't have to be around your boys chilling and be speaking like this. You can, nobody say I do that. I don't do this shit. When I'm speaking to somebody outside of whatever, I'm cool. I barely say anything really. I chop it up or whatever. But I can give you the way it used to be when I was briefing in the military, when I used to go, back and forth, couriering messages, and stuff. We used to deal with them Pentagon people and have to give these TS messages to these high ranking officers. When I used to brief officers, on future and current operations. I mean, also, you have to be a reader, not a skimmer. Remember, I told you have to be a reader, not a skimmer. Be a reader. And if you write shit down, I promise you'll remember it much quicker than typing it. I promise you that. It's crazy because you have to physically take yourself and write down words or write down little quotes and verbiage in a pad. And then you get to flip back through that pad, blah, 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 and learn your shit. But that's a good point there, Ghost. He's playing the Thunder on YouTube. I don't believe it. He said the man is putting in sound effects, dog. He's up here pulling up sound bites on YouTube. Damn, man. I guess I didn't prepare. Look, I didn't prepare properly for this because I thought, all the the people that was criticizing him. Now that he's working with Joe Goossen, I thought people would kind of like start to grin a little bit. Okay, Ryan Garcia, outside of what Canelo says, taking it serious. He's looking a little sharp. You know what I'm saying? Working on his technique, his form, and everything. He might be back. Plus, he got that chin down. He has a bad habit of putting that chin up, especially when he threw that lead left hook. That chin be up in the damn rafters. Oscar exposed PBC yesterday. They sent Cruz a $1 million. Let me see. Oscar exposed. They sent Cruz a $1 million offer, and his handlers didn't even give Cruz the offer. They have their own agenda. Damn. So Isaac Cruz, I remember him saying he didn't want to fight with Ryan Garcia, or not him per se, his people or whatever. And for $1 million, some people out here that haven't even made $1 million. They have a bigger name than Isaac Cruz. Imagine what one fight can do for you. You know what I'm saying? One fight did it for him. Going the distance with Gervonta Davis could be potentially standing in the mirror like Canelo did with Floyd Mayweather. Look, use your imagination. You know what I'm saying? All I'm saying is they want to throw that man a meal just because he went the distance in a good performance with Gervonta Davis, the heaviest hitter in the game, and they didn't even give it to him. Yep, PBC has their own agenda. We know that. Appreciate that, Don Dot on deck. Mitch said Canelo was telling the truth about Ryan. His father confirmed it, and bitch's effort to defend his soft ass son. If indeed Ryan Garcia is taking boxing as a secondhand type of career, it's gonna show. It's gonna show. He's gonna be bathing under the sunlights once again. Don't worry about it. Spa day is on the horizon for Ryan. If he indeed don't take this sport serious, he will be stretched out once again. For real. We already know he can be dropped by a fighter that's really not like that. So we'll see. If he's playing around with it, it will come to the light. Real talk. It will come to the light. We'll come back. I agree. There are issues in that gym. How many athletes test positive out there? That's an issue. But for me, I don't buy the whole abandoned Ryan. That's one of the their biggest guys. When you say big, I disagree with you on that, bro. Because what has he done besides IG followers to raise that Their attention. What has he done? He ain't did no special numbers. Yeah, when it comes to Ryan Garcia, people say, he has the female fan base. He has the young females, the young women that come see him fight, that support him. He has millions of followers on IG. But Oscar Valdez is big too. He's a two-weight champion. Oscar Valdez knocked out Miguel Berchelt in a stoppage heard all around boxing. That was brutal. That shit was brutal, dog. Even though he's a dirty fighter, he still has a bigger name than Ryan Garcia. And then to even go further, Canelo Alvarez, man, we already know. So it comes down to the point Eddie Reynoso is going to be loyal to Canelo first and foremost. So if Canelo might have whispered in his ear or, some chit chatter, Canelo is at a point right now where he can have those sidebar conversations and he can get that shit off his chest. And then what you think Eddie Reynoso going to do? Man, he's going to go with Canelo because that's where his money is at. And then you have Oscar Valdez, who's a WBC champion right now. Come on, man. Ryan hasn't even came, I'm talking about super. He hasn't even became a divisional champion yet like that. He hasn't held one of the 4 primary belts at lightweight. They're all taken right now. So I'm curious to know what exactly the conversation was, who he pissed off, so to speak. Why did he piss him off? And how long has this been going on to the point where he just all of a sudden say, you know what, I'm out. I'm done. I don't have no other, time to waste in here. He's not showing me any attention that I want. He don't have time for me. I'm out. That's been going on for quite some time. I'm just going to cut to the chase. This wasn't something that just popped out of the blue. This shit been going on for a while. They don't treat sparring partners how Ryan said they were treating him. Now, Shaw has been kicked out of that gym before for doing mean things to Ruiz. He had better experiences. Come on now. So Big Shot Shaw has been kicked out of the gym for doing shit to Andy Ruiz. That's interesting. I mean, seriously, that's very interesting. Because Shaw, this is the layers to boxing. Shaw hasn't fought on the level of Andy Ruiz. So him being reprimanded for something he did to a former unified world champion, heavyweight style, former. That's crazy. That's crazy that Shaw would be able to even get out like that on Andy Ruiz. But that's wild though. That's those are educational points when you hear shit that happened in sparring session. People say, "Oh, that's fucking sparring." I agree. It's just sparring sometimes for some fighters. Real talk. I saw Crawford get in there with Brian Norman and shit was crazy, but yet that was what, weeks out before he stepped in there with Sean Porter. He wasn't that fighter. Like, there's levels to sparring, man. That's levels of sparring. Shaw's coming up on the scene, man. All of a sudden, Big Shot Shaw is coming up on the scene. I seen him do some interviews throughout the YTC. He's coming around, man. He has an incredible story. You know what I'm saying? Resilience, fortitude. And now it seems like he's getting his shot. At stepping up his competition, people gonna be tuned in and seeing. But why Andy Ruiz though? How the fuck Ruiz let Shaw get off on him like that? And he stepped in there with Parker, Joshua, Areola. I don't think Canelo is exaggerating. I believe that because Ryan is doing the same thing. I think the truth is somewhere in the middle. Eddie not the type to not be there managing his gym. You don't think he has a little bit of Derrick James in him that's coming around like, dos or tres a week? The train? I mean, look, you got to look at it like this. Like Eddie Reynoso, you have to look at it like he's in demand, big dog. So if you are a trainer that's in demand, you're gonna have to travel. Unless Eddie Reynoso, like Canelo's not fighting every week. So let's be clear. There's not two Canelos that's in that gym training. So let's just say one Canelo, he gets his attention. When it's time for him to fight, he gets all the attention because he is the premier. So everybody else that's beneath the canopy of Canelo Alvarez, they probably get their time, allotted time sparingly. But with that said, is Eddie Reynoso has Canelo Alvarez, which is a cash cow over boxing throughout boxing period. So he has to go to another gym. He has to go somewhere else and train, man. I don't think he's at that gym all the time. I think Eddie gave him some passes, especially during mental health saga, and wasn't as strict as Joe is being. You know how Joe is. I'm sure you heard the stories. Yeah, I had a conversation with Joe a couple of times. Yeah, like listen, there's a lot of trainers out there who are strict, but at the end of the day, it's boxing, man. These are fighters. You know what I'm saying? I mean, some of these fighters they are willing to put themselves in a situation with a coach that's going to be extremely strict. Look at Kevin Cunningham. At one point in time, he had Adrian Broner and Gervonta Davis training up over there. Erickson Lubin always been, you know what I'm saying? But he had them two over there. He couldn't change them. That was only for that time. I mean, Gervonta didn't stay over there permanently. We don't know how long Ryan Garcia is going to stay with Joe. All we looking at is, are we going to see him improve on his deficiencies? Keeping his chin high. You know what I'm saying? Just loading up on his punches. Not having variety or mix in how he's going to implement his offensive strategy. That's what we want to see from Goofy Ryan. Yeah, they was mad at him for up here, when he was capping and saying all that shit. And, once again, people get touchy about mental illness because who am I to say that he doesn't have it? All I can say is all of a sudden he came out with it, but yet he was taking pictures on the beach. Now I'm gonna tell you, a pretty woman on the beach can get your mind right. Feel me? You know what I'm saying? That can get your mind right, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie to you. I mean, I'm not saying it's gonna be a panacea for what you got going on up in the top cap, but goddamn it, a beach and a pretty female, that can clear your shit up for a little bit. That shit can give you some clarity like a motherfucker, boy. Like put on a new pair of opticals. Y'all chumps still out here believing Oscar. Listen, man. Well, that can't be directed at me because I didn't say anything that I believe Oscar. Like I've once again I've had the opportunity to see Oscar on network fucked up. So Oscar's funny to me. I just wish he would have been like that in his career. Do I believe the shit he say? Oscar is a mouthpiece for Golden Boy. Of course he's gonna say what he say, just like Eddie Hearns is. Eddie Hearns say some of the same shit. I call them producer notes. They have their producer notes, man. They have that catalog up there of their producer notes, and they know how to build up a fight. That's all that is. But Eddie's way better than Oscar. Nobody's believing Oscar. Man, we know the only reason Ryan was hated was when he joined Canelo team. He joined it because, Viva la Mexico. He wanted to join the colors. Latino fighters support each other, which is grand. It's good. I don't have no problem with that. But when you have the creme de la creme at the top in Canelo Alvarez, and he's winning, and he's switching stances, he's going up to this division, going down, going up, doing what the fuck he want to do, and he continue to win, unifying the whole division, he's gonna get preferential treatment. I guarantee you that. Canelo is going to get preferential treatment, bro. I know he dirty, bro. I know he is. I know he's dirty. I know Oscar's dirty. But boxing is an unregulated. You need to understand boxing is not a regulated sport. So if they allow individuals from all walks of life to compete in the sport, expect grimy, slimy shit to happen every now and then, like motherfuckers popping dirty for pads. That's just the way of the land, man. Can't believe Oscar when it comes to any Golden Girl promoted fighter. It's something. It's some input that I'm defenseless. I refuse to reply because it's nothing for me to say. I mean, I believe it. Oscar is who he is, bro. There's no rules of engagement for me on that. You know what I'm saying? That would just be charity if I chose to goddamn reply to what Oscar has going on. Don Dollar say Spanish. As much as I don't want to say this, I truly believe that if people totally understood it without any type of malice or ill will, they would get it. I believe everyone should allow, whether your kids are black, you should allow your kids to be able to speak English and Spanish. You should allow them to learn Spanish thoroughly because it's only going to increase the type of income that they can make in life. If you bilingual and you're able to speak fluent Spanish along with your first language English, it will absolutely improve the jobs that you can get. Seriously. Take it or leave it. That's all I'm saying about it. Real talk. When I was overseas, man, I did several years overseas and learned how to speak Japanese, right? Enough to the point to communicate. And then, the amount of Filipinos that I dated and do it my travel and all that shit, I learned how to speak Tagalog, you know. Hey, you stay over there. If I would have stayed over there in Japan and just lived over there, I would have been fluent in Japan just off learning it off the strength of the Japanese that I dated, that I was around, being in the clubs over there and all that shit. Have your kid learn a second language. You know what I'm saying? Spanish is so fucking easy, man. I have it in my family. That's serious. I do. It's so easy. But let's talk about the next topic, man. Canelo and is he a part of the Duck Masters Coalition? Now, things start to get very shifty, when you mention Canelo and ducking. And look, people, just because Canelo is at the top of the hierarchy doesn't mean he can't duck. I have to call it for what it is when he's facing Dimitri Bivol instead of Jamal Charlo. And if he want to collect belts, cool. Maybe these cats on YouTube will understand that Canelo believes belts are important. But only when it comes down to certain fighter, belts ain't important. You know what I'm saying? Belts ain't important when it comes to Crawford. But look at it this way. We will all want to see Jamal Charlo step up and get a fight with Canelo Alvarez, man. Because we feel it'll be a good fight stylistically. A lot of people can't connect with Dimitri Bivol. They don't say he a bum. You know what I'm saying? They're not saying he a bum, but they really can't connect with him. Boxing is all about, who you know. I'm saying your popularity. This is social media era. The fans need to be able to connect with you. How do I connect with him? Follow him on Twitter, follow him on IG, connect with him. There's not too many people that can connect with Bivol. You know what I'm saying? And then he's Russian, right? And a lot of people been speaking on him a little bit more because of what's going on over there. I get it. But when it comes to the boxing life, more people would have liked to see Mar Charlo get the shot. More people would have liked to see David Benavidez get the shot. But Canelo's up here saying, well, Bivol and Charlo should fight each other. Which I always look at it, from my experience, like I'm not absolutely upset on why Canelo is basically saying, y'all fight each other, God damn it. I understand it. I get it. Because if it was me in Canelo's position, right? I'm looking at, okay, Charlo is a two-weight champion. But yet you're looking at his what? BOW, his body of work. And Canelo's looking at his body of work. And he's always measuring what he's accomplished all the way up and what Charlo and David Benavidez has accomplished. I truly want to bring Demetrius Andrade in here, but I just don't want to ruin, the air. I don't want to deflate the conversation. I would rather see Jamal Charlo and David Benavidez get the shot at Canelo Alvarez, especially for the undisputed titles. Now, I'm going to tell y'all something because I always do reflection and shit. I remember when they was asking Danny Jacobs why he was fighting Gabe Rosado. Oh, I want to make him eat his words. See how I'm talking about? How these motherfuckers have the same shit in replay producer notes. Daniel Jacobs said the reason why he wanted to fight Gabe Rosado because he talk a lot of shit. I want to make him eat his words. What do you think Canelo just said about fighting Gennady? Oh, he talks a lot of shit. Who the fuck has been paying attention to Little G? Who? Producer notes once again. Why do you want to fucking fight Triple G or Trilogy? Because he talk a lot of shit. No, he don't. Don't nobody want to see no motherfucking Gennady Golovkin and Canelo trilogy. You just at a point, Canelo's at a point right now where he can face a Gennady Golovkin for the type of money he's getting. He's satisfied with that. Once again, I can't be fucking mad at Canelo because he's taken the necessary steps to get to where he's at. Now he can make those damn decisions. He can be petty when he want to and still get the motherfucking prize. He can do this shit, bro. Canelo has worked up to that point where he can make those subtle shifts and changes that's not going to be accommodating to everybody. It's going to accommodate motherfucking Canelo. So when he sit up here and talk about, oh, he talking shit, man, Gennady ain't saying a motherfucking thing. You know why? Because he want to be a good guy and sit there like Abner Yildirim did, so you can get him that trilogy and he can go ahead and retire. That's all. He want to wait for that fight where he probably make about 15, 20 of, he gonna make a pretty good amount. Gennady is not gonna make no 10 mil like Caleb. Gennady's gonna make a pretty good amount of money, man. And that's what he wants. You know why? Because Gennady was able to sustain that one loss. He hasn't lost again on paper since then, even though he was getting his ass beat. And Gennady feels some type of respect. I don't know. Canelo has some type of respect for Gennady. Like, this is two guys who wouldn't even do the damn the fight presser when they was on the tour. They wouldn't even be in the same room with one another. That's after Canelo had popped positive and Gennady was talking shit about him. Now, that time, I can say Gennady was talking mad shit about Canelo. And Canelo was pissed. That's why he went in there and gave him the Lucha Libre style. That shit wasn't motherfucking just Mexican. He added the Lucha Libre. He said, I'm giving you all of me to all of you. Motherfucker Canelo goddamn went in there and gave him everything that he asked for. Abel Sanchez over there, goddamn, losing his fucking mind. He about to do a backflip off the damn apron. He's like, what the fuck is going on? So it's crazy how if Gennady is talking shit, right? Check this out. If Gennady is talking so much shit and Canelo is pissed off about it, why in the fuck are you not giving David Benavidez a shot? Because he's talking shit about you too. The only thing that separates Benavidez and Gennady is one, You already have Benavidez, who's campaigned at super middleweight. He's been champion 2 times already at that weight, right? But when you talk about overall accolades, you got to include Gennady Golovkin and what encompasses his entire career. He has more weight. But if Canelo is just going to put that little saying out there, Gennady talk a lot of shit, so does David Benavidez. The only one that ain't talking shit, y'all already know who that is. Put it in the chat for me. I know y'all know. Which one is the only one that haven't been talking a lot of shit? Jamal Charlo. Because the ass kissing factor is already in play. He don't want to piss him off. But goddamn, Benavidez say, fuck you, fuck everything you stand for. I want the fight. Gennady Golovkin has talked mad shit leading up to their rematch when Canelo tested positive for clenbuterol, right? And his suspension was retroactive back to when, February or something. So it still was on the timeline for them to step in the ring, which they did. So you know what it is, bro. Don't feed us producer notes and all that shit, Canelo. Just say you're ducking. I'm serious. That's the only process of elimination that I can give. He's ducking, bro. And once he was kicked out, he called back in, giving respect. And this isn't just a few weeks ago. He has been there many times, even to work with Frank and Canelo himself. Okay, that's what's up, bro. Thanks for dropping them gems there, Ghost. Thanks for dropping the gems. But look, go. Don't be a fight week, one of these fight weeks, man, walking around and you see me on deck, man, don't say anything. I understand what your name is, but goddamn it, you obviously not knowledgeable in the sport, man. Just walk up and say Ghost. And then you can dip back into the shadows, goddamn it. We don't have to carry on long conversation. You know what I'm saying? Shit. From what he said, Eddie was there. He was respected. He was respectable. And the gym in general wasn't how Ron describes it. Okay. I mean, I'm not going to sit up here and advocate for Ron on whether he's lying or not. You know what I'm saying? He is a capion, goddammit. That's Ryan Garcia. How he let Shaw get off on him like that, because that's how good Shaw is. Y'all will see soon. The world will witness how great he is soon. If I mention the sparring stories, you'll be shocked. I heard about Shaw sparring stories and appreciate you bringing that up. I haven't seen. I could have sworn I saw Shaw spar Deontay. You know what I'm saying? I could have sworn I did. But like I said before, if it's Shaw's time, kudos to the brother. You know what I'm saying? That's great shit. I'm glad he's getting his opportunity to shine. Hold on for a second. My deal with Shaw is, I was even sitting up here several months ago talking about, when Deontay Wilder was stepping in there with the trilogy. I say, man, we don't have that many heavyweights left, man. What the fuck? We don't have that many American heavyweights left. But we have Trevor Bryant, who's the WBA regular titleist, right? And then I used to mention Jared Anderson a lot because Jared Anderson's been on TV fighting all the time. Shaw wasn't around on the TV like that. But people like yourself, they know what's been going on behind the scenes in the gym, right? And then you have down here in the A, you have some heavyweights around. You have Mac Truck, who's building himself up. I think he's a WBA, NABA, or NABO champion he just fought for. Championship he just fought for, right? So he's building a Mac Truck. The Dakari Scott, he's building himself up out of Mustafa's boxing down here. And then you got Shaw, who popped up out of nowhere. When I say nowhere, I know people used to talk of him, but even if he was the guy that I seen down there, I didn't know him, right? So he made his rounds. Like I said, an amazing story on how, he was somewhat in a snag for a minute, but yet he's getting that shine. The good thing about Shaw is he's like late 20s, brushing shoulders with 30. So he still has time to get his shot, bro. Shaw has time. He has experience with Deontay Wilder. He has experience with Ruiz and several other fighters. That's big guys. He went in there. In my opinion, he did what he's supposed to do against Joey DeWeco. It wasn't anything incredible. It would have been good if he just wouldn't treat Joey like a sparring partner. You know what I'm saying? Joey DeWeco has been a sparring partner for a lot of people. And the only time people really gave attention to DeWeco is when they said he knocked out Joshua. And I was like, that ain't shit new. Like, goddamn, we already knew Joshua's chin was confetti. But if they denied and shit like that. But I would have liked to see Shaw go in there and make that shit look easy with a big, kind of sluggish fighter with experience like Joey DeWeco, man. That's all. Nothing against Shaw, though. Nothing against Shaw. For real. Seemed like a very, very good brother. I have nothing against Shaw, for real. I watched all his interviews on him when he was making his rounds. Go say World Combat. Facts World Combat for me. Knowing multiple languages helped a lot. I'm trying to learn the sixth language now with Spanish. Everyone should learn languages. I agree, man. And, I just chose to expound on my language. You know what I'm saying? Everybody should do that. It's very, very important, man. Do it while you're young, while your brain is fresh. Look for me. The biggest victim of Canelo is Demetrius Andrade. He is 34. Time is running out. Canelo, can you please fight that brother? Charlo, can you stop ducking? Charlo, can you stop ducking? I'll pay 100 PPV. Shit, you up there dangling a wishbone out here, man. You're talking about Demetrius Andrade facing Canelo. I mean, being, the toughest opponent for Canelo, right? And then you talk about Charlo ducking Andrade. Which one would you want to see? Of course, both of them are intriguing, but we'd like to see Andrade face Canelo to a point. I just don't find Demetrius Andrade exciting. And 34 years old. It's good he finally made a move. I think he's about to face what? Who he's about to face? He's about to face a fighter for the interim WBO super middleweight champion, from what I heard. Hope he gets it done, and then we can move on to him facing somebody else. But one thing I do agree with you, Ghost, on that, right? All right. Partially, I agree with you because I'm looking at Demetrius Andrade having the cojones to make the move up to 168. He has the cojones to do what Charlo hasn't. Because Charlo put them motherfuckers on the shelf, the grudge holder shelf. You know what I'm saying? And he want to put them on the sidelines. But yet, now you have Andrade making a move up to super middleweight before Charlo does. It comes to a point that the fight that may be very, very interesting at 168 when the smoke clears is going to be between Demetrius Andrade, possibly David Benavidez, Charlo, or Caleb Plant. Andrade moves up there. He wins his first fight. I'm not even sure, where Charlo is going to be. And I don't even know if that's enough for Canelo to look his way. If he's going to say the man a horrible fighter, well, treat him just like you treat Callum Smith. Treat him like you did Rocky Fielding. Treat him like you did Billy Joe Sanders and Caleb Plant. If you say that motherfucking Demetrius Andrade is a horrible fighter, go in there and goddamn prove it. Because if this man is going to move up, why isn't Canelo Alvarez saying, hey, Charlo, you should fight Demetrius Andrade? Why aren't you saying that, Canelo? Like, what the fuck is up? These fighters holding grudges. Like, goddamn, dog. We got Charlo holding a grudge against Andre. Andre crashing the damn post-fight conference of Canelo. Gennady Golovkin talk shit to you when you pop positive, but you trying to give him a trilogy. Motherfucker don't make sense, man. I'm moving on. Moving on. Look for me, the biggest victim. Okay. Oscar said he'll have to make guys fight Virgil Ortiz. Then he told Virgil he's the man, and everyone's lining up to fight him for a payday. Man, get the fuck out of here. I heard that shit. Man, Oscar, man, see, every time Oscar puts some shit out like that, I'm a dude that's standing over there in the shadows with the cup. Oscar, and I'm dangling that motherfucker. Come on. We got to go to the bathroom. P-cup time. P-cup time. Let's go, Oscar. Nobody lining up to face Virgil Ortiz. And for him to get up there and talk about payday, Negro, please. What the fuck have you did? You went through 2 tough fights. Ain't nobody lining up to goddamn fight your ass, man. I'm gonna do like the Spencer Holics. Fight Boots Ennis. Fight Boots Ennis. He said, I disagree with you. I'd rather see Andre get the shot because he is the most ducked at 60. Like Paul, Andre had been saying, it's a bunch of lies and a lot of ducking when it comes to Andre. I can understand you have some vested interest in Demetrius Andre. I don't. I look at his fights, man, and like once again, Ghost, you might be that guy that frequent the gyms and you have a more closer connected relationship than I do. Because I feel some type of way for fighters who I've met and develop a rapport to also. So I feel you on that level. When it comes to Demetrius Andre and the remote connection that I have with him and his performances, I say, fuck no. Like, dude literally boxes to the level of his competition. Like, Jesus. So if he's continuing to perform to the level of his competition, he needs to increase his competition. But to some fighters, they're going to look at Demetrius Andre and say, you ain't fought nobody, bro. You might be champion in 2 weights, but you ain't fought nobody. Canelo has respect for Triple G because he knows Triple G beat him both times. First time 9 rounds clear. Second time 7-8. Hell no, Ghost. Hell no, Shawty, for real. Punch stats don't lie. You don't land almost 2 times the punches and loses. I get what you're saying about punches landed, right? But once again, we're talking about those individuals who are in a position to judge a fight, Ghost. Everybody's mental criteria retention is different in what they're looking for. They might be looking, or they might count the power punches. They might count the jab. Another judge might count the jabs, or they might count the little small punches on the inside. It's all dependent on what the judges are looking at. Punch stats have been known to be one of the most deceptive pieces of document that we can gauge following a post-fight review. We've seen that shit all the fucking time, man. So-and-so threw more punches, landed more punches, but yet the other fighter wins. Why? Because they might have thought more of the power punches. They might have felt like this guy was pressuring. Let's just say you get a guy that's pressuring, right? Let's just say you get a boxer that's pressuring. And he has a fighter that's boxing off the back foot, moving, and he's being a counter puncher. He don't want to subject himself to any danger of standing there and brawling because he respects the guy's power. So that counter puncher, that boxer who's turned into a counter puncher, he's landing the shots, but it's on the move. It's just sporadic. It's not something that's continuous. But yet the guy continued to pressure. Judges on the sideline might look at that and say, oh, he pressuring him. He's forcing this dude to go back. So every time he land a punch, it must have much more of effect to the judges, in the eyes of the judges, man. Once again, that goes, I understand what you're saying about the punch stats, but that shit is not a consistent piece of document that weighs heavily on the decision-making skills of the judges, bro. It doesn't. We see fighters get robbed all the time. Trap media in the building. Ryan would thrive with Goossen. We'll see, bro. We'll see. I'm neither confirming nor am I denying what you're saying. We have to see it play out. Shaw and Pedro are the truth, and those are the best heavyweights today. I believe that fully, and every time they fight, my bets are on. Those are the future heavyweight champions. All right, we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that play. Hey, I can't go against the grain with that because the heavyweight division right now is in shambles, bro. We don't know what the fuck is going on. We have Dillian White, UA, MIA. We have Tyson Fury doing what Tyson Fury does. And it's just a clown show. You know what I'm saying? I mean, all the time it took, man, I can't even get into it right now. It's not even about them, dog. I just wish the Bomb Squad, still had his fucking belt. And we was talking about a potential fight with him and Anthony Joshua. And Anthony Joshua still had his belts. That would have been the ultimate. But sometimes you can't have everything the way you want it. You have to just be patient and see other shit play out. Shaw is about to be 30 this year, but has taken almost no damage over the year. Pro at 23, didn't get much shine, sadly. Stopped boxing for a long time. I'm gonna try to get him on your show later. Yeah, I definitely like to chop it up with Shaw, man. He's one of those guys where I've seen everybody else, interviewing him. Like I said, I seen the energy. I heard his voice. You know what I'm saying? That he was talking about how he was going through the struggle and what he's been able to accomplish up to this point, just getting to where he is in his career. You know what I'm saying? People fucked him over. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's boxing, ain't it? That's a grimy ass situation. You know what I'm saying? That brother is somewhat of a survivor of a sport that's not regulated, and people damn near lose their lives trying to compete in this shit and don't make it. They get at the end of the road, they either make one or two choices. Or you can continue to get beat up and take L's, or you're going to get out the sport and find a second damn job. It's hard for a fighter that was once a well-known boxer. You can say it's a prominent boxer to basically be training in the gym for low money. You know what I'm saying? Like, it happens all the time. Don Dollar said, big shot who knocked Wilder down in sparring. Yeah, I heard about that, but I didn't hear about it. I just heard chatter. You know what I'm saying? If he did knock Wilder down, hey, I still look at it like this. It's boxing. Wilder, for the physique that he was able to come to sport with, did not ever fit the mold that they put on a heavyweight fighter. I think he did tremendous in his career. If Shaw did knock down Wilder in sparring, cool. I expect him to use that and hope it carry over to his performances against other heavyweights that he's going to be in the ring with. I give that man all the props. He did that. I mean, a lot of people get fucked up in sparring now. I'm just being honest with you. But like I said, I'm looking forward to seeing him rise. I mean, another black heavyweight that's in the mix. You know what I'm saying? That'll give us 4, Trevor Bryan, I'm not sure who else he's going to fight after this. You know what I'm saying? He just came off the Giltry win, I believe. And then, of course, you got Jared Anderson, who's making a big splash continuously with his wins. Then you got Mac Truck. You got Big Shot Shaw. I wonder if Mack Truck and Shaw sparred before. I'm curious to know he been down here in the A and they sparred. And there's some other heavyweights that's around, but I don't know all of them. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I want Charlo versus Andre. He has more. He has to move up because Charlo declined $7 million for the fight. Triple G also declined. So did Canelo. 3 duck, duck, duck. Which one wants to fight? Charlo may believe he's more than $7 million, man. Real talk. Them Charlo brothers, I don't have too much good to say about, what they got going on. I don't like to see the brothers up here chasing Canelo. I want them to have people chasing them. I want them to be in the spotlight. I want them to be in the shining glory where they can decide to make those decisions, you know what I'm saying, and have people waiting or accepting the challenge to permit them to grace the square with you. I want to see that. I don't want to see the brothers up here chasing fighters because, at that point in time, you get the shot and you end up having a conversation like Caleb Plant in the 9th round. Hey, man. Hi, buddy. Good to be in the ring with you. It's been a while. I don't want to hear that shit, dog. I want to see a fight, especially after you got slapped in the motherfucking face off. Charlo brother been lying and running the cap for years, and he using it to avoid that brother. He isn't exciting because there isn't competition which excite him. That's a switch hitter. I know. I've heard about his style, man. I heard about his style. I hope he get his shot. Like I said, he has the cojones to move up to super middleweight, and I salute him for that. He has fought from either stance against amazing fighters back to back. He has been to all of their press conferences and more. All right, that's what's up. I like that from Andre, man. Like Andre, to me, besides him wearing that pirate outfit, I mean, he seems like a cool dude. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't think I've said anything negative about Andre crashing the post fight. I don't think I said anything negative with him being in the hallway with Charlo. I think he was having conversations with his people, and they was telling him, man, it's time for you to kind of break out of the, passive aggressive type role you playing right now and just be absolutely aggressive to get these fights because you're getting older and we need these fights. So therefore, that's why you might see a different level change from Andrade when it comes to his personality. That's why you saw him go to the press conference. And Canelo wanted to say he's a horrible fighter and he want a payday. Well, guess what, Canelo? You getting paydays out the yin yang. You getting paid so others can eat too. You getting paid? I thought they were talking about Charlo Plant. Boo Boo never get a fight with top PBC fighter because he pulled out the fight. That's almost 10 years ago, Ben. So you trying to tell me as many openings that boxing has for fighters to come here and make a living, you're attempting once again to prove that Andre is still being placed in timeout all because he attempted to broker a deal for more money at the last fucking minute. So you trying to say boxing is that fucking petty? I agree. Boxing is that petty in certain cases. But boxing is not just one unit. It's several. It's several collective pods all over the place. They're still mad at Andre for what he did years upon years, and it didn't even have anything to do with cheating. It had nothing to do with putting plaster of Paris in your gloves. It had nothing to do with taking the padding out your gloves. It had nothing to do with popping positive for clenbuterol. It had nothing to do with popping positive for PEDs in general. Hitting behind the head, kneeing your opponent in the groin. You trying to tell me all because he attempted to broker higher money? He's being blacklisted. But being weren't no contracts, no one pulled out. That's why no lawsuits came up. And you know what goes? You saying that makes it even more fucked up. Because this has become a part of the index of boxing. Where people just look at it, oh, let me check this out. And they hear the same shit to talk about that shit with Andrade and Charlo. That shit is in the index of boxing. When you're up here looking through the boxing annals, all you gotta do is scroll through the index and you're gonna find that shit in history. Damn near 10 years ago, and they still got them blacklisting this guy. And then let's just say it wasn't no contract. That makes it extensively worse, bro. That this guy can't get a fight only because he made a decision to try to get more money or whatever it is. And Charlo them butthurt. Hey, bro. Hey, big Charlo. Man, you know, if little Charlo don't take the fight with this nigga, I don't want you to do either. Man, we ain't gonna never fight that. Man, come on. That's bullshit, dog. I'm so sick and tired of hearing about that. Trap me to say I don't think Canelo is ducking Andre Bivol has a nation. Andrade doesn't really have a fan base, and Charlo brand has taken a hit. Canelo can never do enough, and Andrade got dropped by Vaness. So once again, Trap Media, you're speaking just off what I just mentioned. You're telling me Bivol has a country? So what? I mean, okay, it's fighters that can come from other countries and fight. Come on, man. That only works for, Mexicans. We say Mexicans have a country behind them. Not every Mexican does. They just have Mexican fight fans, Latino fight fans. That's all. And then you talk about Russia. Russia got other shit going on. You think the Russians are going to be sitting over there and there's going to be a huge turnout because of them tuning in to watch Bivol? Shit, we can say U.S. has a damn country behind us. But, since boxing is not a single unit that people can latch on to, boxing is just like, it has roots somewhere. But there's no single entity, man. It's just boxing is every fucking where. So you just can't speak on it as one consolidated unit. That's why shit is on different sheets of music. Everybody doing their own fucking thing. That's what messes up the sport. Charlo brand has taken a hit. Why? How has Charlo brand taken a hit? We talking about Mal Charlo, bro. How's his brand taking a hit? Mal Charlo is the undefeated Charlo. Mel Charlo took a hit with Harrison, but he went and got his belt back. No one's talking about that loss. What are you saying there, Trap? Who cares if Andrade got dropped by Vaness, man? Nobody cares. Vander Martirosyan, we don't care. He hasn't did too much about anything. Just because a fighter get dropped. Well, I was mentioning Ryan Garcia. He got dropped by Luke Campbell. Anybody talking about that besides me? Nope. They treat Devin Haney like the 10th round, he was hurt against Jorge Linares, but everybody else around there been on the canvas. I mean, come on, bro. What are we saying? Ryan's on the canvas, Comey on the canvas, T.O. on the canvas, Loma on the canvas. But they speak about Devin all because he got touched on the chin and he had the wobble legs going back to the corner. Who gives a fuck if he was down by one fighter? I don't. Bro, that was a verbal agreement as a man. You're nothing without your word. I wish it was like that, but it's not. In boxing, people go back on their word all the time. I see it. I be at these fights and these fighters be signing contracts for whatever amount that's way lower than what they're getting paid. And some of them don't even get paid. The amount of money that was verbally agreed upon, dog. Seriously, they don't even get paid the amount of money they verbally agreed upon. They signed a extremely low amount for tax purposes, but yet they're going off the strength and the integrity of the promoter. And then when it's time to get paid, the promoter getting them the money, it's not what they've agreed upon. But contractually, you signed to fight for $1. Miss, I heard the interview with Andrade's father on True School Sports. A bunch of contradictory statements. I like Andrade as a fighter, but his prime has been wasted. 168 is sweet, but he may run into trouble. I mean, that's the trouble he need. Now, Mitch, he's undefeated, bro. That's the trouble he need at this point in his career. He should be trying to find trouble, go looking for trouble. He should, because looking for that trouble is going to get him paid more money, especially if he come out and you know, he's swimming, don't get wet. He come out on top. That's the trouble he need right now, man. And the man is going on 35 years old. Look, regardless of what the judges say, a fighter knows what happened in the rest. Canelo has for dude, and the fact that he tested positive when it was time to fight Triple G, I think he knows. You know what? That hammer might swing correctly on the head of the nail. You feel me? Real talk. But on paper, they gave it to Canelo. I totally, you know, I'm feeling enlightened. I know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? He was getting more of that quality top sirloin when he was heading in there for the rematch. And he was trying to do that. No see, no hear, no speak. Just serve me the beef. That's what Canelo was doing. He wanted to act like he was innocent and just serve him the beef. He knew the shit was being injected. He knew the motherfucking heifer that it came from. You know what I'm saying? They made that beef especially for Canelo, goddammit. And he is no way he can get rid of it. You know what I'm saying? He got caught cheating. King Mitch, he didn't lie about a single thing. Like it's been said for years, and others involved been saying for years, no contracts were sent. Can't pull out if there was no signed agreement. What people tend to do a lot of times is go off what was supposedly out there. And a lot is dealing with this matter is that they try to make it seem like it was contractually binding. Like, you know, Ghost just mentioned that wasn't the case. They did the same thing with Devin Haney and Lomachenko. They tried to act like it was something binding and Lomachenko vacated so he wouldn't. It was nothing on paper. And it was a lot more behind the scenes on that. So just because these guys verbally agree, man, this is boxing. A verbal agreement doesn't get you to the stage. How many times did we hear Teofimo and Devin Haney verbally agree on shit? How many times did we hear Cambosa say, I'm going to clear up any confusion? Man, all damn lies, dog. The untruth is spoken a lot in boxing. I had Triple G winning the first fight. I thought the second fight was closer to the draw than the first fight. That gave it to Canelo, though. They gave it to Canelo. It was bullshit in the second fight. Could have done more. I thought the second fight was much more entertaining. And, you know, like I said before, I thought Canelo did enough to win. You feel me? And shout out to the Sensei Stormy B, man, on deck. Salute at WCS. Salute to you there, Stormy. Y'all definitely go check out the Sensei himself, Stormy B, in the building. Trap, Baby Miller returns soon. Stop it, Trap. Stop it. Stop it, dog. Stop it. Stop it. I know the brother's still out there. I can't put him in the equation of black heavyweights because, I'm just not going to subject myself to self-inflicted abuse again. I had high hopes, big dreams for him knocking the fuck out of Anthony Joshua. And this man was goddamn Tropicana himself. He has so much juice in him. I swear to God. It's almost like they dipped Jarrell Miller in a nuclear plant. How you feeling? You turning green, Jarrell? I like it. I feel strong too. Yeah. Man, stop it, dog. Stop it, man. Talk about Jarrell Miller, man. Trap meter. When he's fighting, when you're trying to bet on it, if he's tested positive. For real, right? It's only one bet I'm going for. You know what I'm saying? That would be a side bet, like in spades. We make a side bet, man. For real. I can't put no legitimate interest on Jarrell Miller, man. Hell no. I just gotta see that guy come back and get some work in and see where he goes from there. And then even the next fight after that, I'm gonna still be a little bit hesitant. I'm saying I don't want to get too close to supporting Jarrell Miller. News is broken. Jarrell Miller is once again pop positive, and he's pretty much banished from the sport for a 5-year. Jarrell has no time to pop positive again. Shaw and Max sparred before, I'm sure. Any guy you can name at heavyweight, he been in there with. Even Ortiz. I believe also Fury a long time ago. All right, for sure, man. That's good. That's good educational bits to know. For real. That's good to go. That's good to go. He's been in there with the big names, because you don't want to be a glorified sparring partner. You definitely want to have your moment to shine. But like I said, him showing up on YouTube and basically revisiting his story, it shed a lot of light on some areas that I was pretty dark in when it came to his career. I just didn't know much about him. But kudos to him, man. Stormy B said, knockdowns are a part of boxing. KOs are what you try to stay away from. Some don't have a clue of the difference. It's the number one reason you hone your craft in the gym, not win gym battles. Damn, he pretty much said you're supposed to be in there honing in your craft, improving your skill set, not winning gym battles and sparring. And you see a lot of that, though. I'm not going to lie, Stormy. I've seen it. I've seen a lot of gym battles that, when that person went to the ring, I guess it's an ego thing. You know what I'm saying? It's a part of, I don't know, just a natural criteria or formality that they go through in the gym now. I just see it. I see cats that truly want to have a reputation for winning gym battles. And that gym battle is building up respect from wherever they at. Like, they feel that that's a part of their career. People talk about, oh, you was knocked down in sparring, or we got this sparring footage, you got that sparring footage. I have to go back to what I just seen, right? And I didn't even post the footage. But when I seen Jahad Tucker spar Brian Norman is 23-0 down here, and Jahad Tucker is 6-0. Both of them have been televised as fighters. Both of them are in the same weight class. You know what both of their camps said? Brian Norman Sr. said, I don't give a fuck if you record anything. Shit, I don't give a damn. Mr. Tucker, I don't give a fuck. See, that type of mentality, you have to look at it. I do. I look at it like they really don't care about their fighters being on film because they know how good they are. Especially, when it comes to Brian Norman Sr., he has total confidence. As I would say for Jahad Tucker's pops, total confidence. Look, when I tell you, when I said, hey, y'all mind video or pictures, they said, I don't care. So they was willing. Look, Jahad Tucker has a fight coming up this month. Brian Norman's going to have a fight coming up. Both of them teams is something that I remember because they said they didn't give a damn whether it goes on video or not. And they sparred 2 days. I agree with you, Stormy B, on that. Break the shit down. It's the number one reason you hone your craft in the gym, not win gym battles. Boo Boo is a mean person when it comes to boxing. He tried playing nice guy because people said that other personality would lead to blackballing. Now he just don't care. Hey, Ghost, you know what it is when it comes to the black fighters, though. Real talk. They always say in some instances that we have to do more to gather the attention, of someone, when others might do less and they still move ahead and progress faster than we do. Especially when it comes to combat sport. I've seen it both in MMA and boxing, more so in boxing. where you have other fighters that's not trash talkers, but it seems like the black fighters have to trash talk one another just to get the build up, the build up, the build up. Goes he clean? He would Kevin Cunningham. We'll see. We'll see. Shout out to Kevin Cunningham, Simplify. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Kevin Cunningham, man. One of the most strict, structured boxing coaches out there in the game. The fucked up part about the whole contract situation is there was never a contract. Nothing was ever signed or finalized. Andrade team was asking for weeks to a contract. For a contract went public 2 weeks before. For those of you listening and tuning in this live chat, man, there you go. You have individuals over here that's on ground floor. It's a lot of shit you learn on the ground floor. I'm telling you, being up levels on the top tier of the skyscraper, you're gonna miss out on some shit. When somebody give you a phone call about what's going on downstairs, you can only help that they're a solid, credible messenger. The only way you're going to find out this shit is you consistently are in the gym on the ground floor. You have to be there. That's when you can put these stories together. You know what I'm saying? Put these experiences together. And, that's what we talk about all the time. That's what me and Showtime talk about. And plenty of other cats like Stormy, Ghost. You know what I'm saying? These cats that's in the gym. Hey, that's all I can say about it. You learn a lot by seeing these guys train, hear the conversations, talk to their team, and everything else. Trap. So Canelo didn't get hurt by fighter with 2 wins now. Now Ghost be on your ass now, Trap. So Canelo didn't go in there with Colo brother and get hurt badly. He did. He did. I mean, I wasn't here to just make it about Bash City, but if they put the comment in there, I got to read it. You bringing up shit which happened when dude was 24 and had a bad cut. What happened after he got dropped? You're right, man. You're definitely right, bro. Russians gonna support Bivol. It's many Russians in the U.S. So what is many Trap? Come on, bro. You better than this. We have Americans in the U.S. That doesn't mean every American is sitting out in the audience and we have a black or Mexican fighter. They're gonna be supporting the black fighter. Look what happened with Deontay Wilder. You had people booing him at the Staples Center and at Vegas, bro. And he was in his home country. He was born in the U.S. He was here. What does a sprinkle of Russians have to do with anything? They can cheer, but come on, man. They don't even make up the 1% of the population that resides here in the U.S. footprint. They just here, just like the UK fans. It's UK fans over here. Cool. But how many of them? And how much effect? You trying to tell me if we have Russians over here and it's a total of 100 Russians over here, they all fuck with boxing just because Bivol is fighting? No. That's just like saying every American, when their fighter get on TV and they're about to damn lace up and touch gloves, that people's tuning in. If that was the case, Floyd Mayweather, Tyson, Holyfield, Lewis, none of them would be a topic of discussion because the numbers would be much higher than that. Trap, he got dropped. Got up and schooled dude for 12 rounds from the orthodox stance instead of his natural southpaw. So what's up? All good. That goes working and listening in. I'm in boxing mode. That's what's up. That's what's up. Cardball beat Maul. Trap. What does it say? What does it say? We can talk about who beat who. I even do it myself. All right. So I'm not too far over. You know what I'm saying? On you saying Cardball beat Maul. But what does it say when you are presented with the BoxRec document? The document depicts a win when he fought Cardball. I get that you saying it was a tough fight, but documentation is everything. Russians don't even know Bivol. How many tickets Bivol been selling? If I had to guess, man, we're looking at 6.5 to 7 tickets. 6.5 to 7. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure it's Russians over here, bro. Like it's a lot of Russians everywhere. Like you go to damn South Korea, you got Russians over there. Like it's cool. Russian chicks, man, everything over there in South Korea. Jamal got a gift against Van Ness as well. At one point, the Charlos was just as loved as Spence. That has changed. I can look at it like this, Trap. How long are we gonna just hold, just hold that bookmark it forever and a day? How long, bro? How long are we gonna fold the page in these guys' careers off one or two incidents? But yet, call ourselves hardcore boxing fans. How are we gonna fold the page on that over and over again and just revisit it? Come on, man. You said got a gift. We're not talking about gifts, bro. He's we're talking about straight up what the documentation says. Canelo got a gift against Laura. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's many people that can speak about certain fights that was questionable that Canelo had. And Arislandi Laura always pops up in the conversation. Always, bro. Canelo got a gift against Triple G. So what's up, Trap? Got you keep talking about no contract side. If you don't have your word, you don't have anything. Black Belt Ben, if that's the case, go ask Showtime where they tried to cut the pay in half after giving word and saying a number to the team. Boxing is dirty when it comes to negotiation, bro. Stormy says the canvas is specifically reserved. Any ass can grace it. Ask Taylor and Colbert. You true. It's true. You know what I'm saying? The stories that the canvas has. You know what I'm saying? The canvas. You know what I'm saying? The canvas has a lifetime of its own, man. Just think about that. If the canvas had a life form to it, it's so many canvases that's been a part of historic boxing matches that, it's not like you can keep that in your house. Like we talking about a full-size boxing ring. Like it would be great if it was much smaller, you can shrink them down. But imagine the stories of the canvas, bro. If you can get the two fighters that fought that night, that had a memorable boxing match and had them sign the canvas, and you can take it back with you. I mean, will you be able to reserve the signatures? I mean, yeah, man. The canvas is incredible, man. For real. The amount of history that encompasses the canvas itself is crazy. And if about word, why was no contract sent for December that year? Andrade simply said, "We can't make that date as we have 2 weeks left and no contract. Let's get it signed." Black Belt Ben, that word don't work here. It was Andrade who was the victim to someone not keeping their word. Showtime didn't keep their word. I didn't know that. I'm hearing a lot. I'm not saying I'm not taking a side of nobody. I'm just saying some of this information is new criteria to me. I mentioned Boo Boo getting dropped because people say Canelo is ducking him. No one say people are ducking Ryan. Well, first of all, you have to be able to take a fight to be ducked. Why would anybody duck Ryan? Why would anybody want to duck Ryan? You know what I'm saying? Fighting Bivol at 175 is no duck. All the ducking happened at 54 and 60. Yeah, I mean, if you talk about what Canelo didn't do at 60, I get it. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But you also have to look at Canelo was unified at 60. Why he chose to abort mission and abandon that division and just leave it empty? Who knows, man? It's boxing. He could have fought then Charlo, and he could have fought Andrade when he was down there. He sure enough fought Gennady. We don't know, man. That's the intricacies of boxing. It's very, very complex. It's a sport of favoritism and bias. It's all about who you connected to. Never forget that shit. These boxes are all connected differently. You know what I'm saying? There's many waterways in boxing. There's many alleys that you have to travel. Somebody can take to Twitter today and say some bullshit, and the whole motherfucking damn masses, they run with that shit before they find out it's false. And they can be something about a boxer. No no sources to validate it, nobody to back it up, nothing. It's just somebody put the tweet out and they run with it. At World Combat Sports, I hear what you're saying, but ego and pride is a huge part of boxing and sports in general. It is, man. It is. But so if you're talking about ego and pride when it comes to denying a person an opportunity, it turns into stupidity and selfishness too. Because if that fighter is so deemed credible to grace the ring with you, they have a big enough name. And we know Demetrius Andrade have a large enough name to step in the ring with Charlo. Then it comes to a point where it's far past ego. You just being absolutely selfish. And people might say I'm saying he's being selfish to Andrade. No, he's being selfish to himself too. Because you know damn well Andrade will present you a tough task. So you're basically depriving yourself from a good fight, all because you want to keep on mentioning, oh no, fuck that nigga, fuck him. He wanted to back out of the deal. Man, come on, shit, damn near 10 years ago. Yeah, I agree. Ego, pride, but also it's stupidity, ignorance, selfishness, all that shit. Entitlement. Trap me, the U.S. Ron is not a two-weight champion with 5 defenses at 60 alone. Who had a $40 million deal for Canelo on the table for undisputed, which Canelo declined for a $35 million payday to fight an old man. That is facts. Come on, Trap. You might want to goddamn get the jump rope, goddamn, and break up a sweat or something. Goddamn, Ghost is just, he's sitting over here clapping the mitts together. Absolutely nobody is ducking Ryan. Is the exact opposite. Fighters know the kid is sweet. Nobody ain't ducking no goddamn Ryan for sure. They ducking out of the motherfucking conference to take a laugh outside and say, this dude's a goofball. Trap me, the U.S. No one says Ron is ducked because the champion Devin told him to fight him next after dude fought for a mandatory shot at Devin, and Ryan said no public. Yeah, we know that. And look, Ghost, he also said he can speak to his attorneys. That's how far Ryan went. So Ryan is number 1 pound for pound on the Duck Masters Coalition, the WCS Duck Masters Coalition. Ryan is that guy. Trap me, the USA come back with that Ryan talk when dudes fight. He hasn't fought in a long time. Can't compare the two. Cap Media Mexico, stop it. Yeah, man. We already know Ryan Garcia is absolutely Mr. Capion, bro. Goes, I don't know what Showtime offered, neither do you. You're a boo-boo fan, so I expect you to take his perspective. That's a fair assessment. That's a fair assessment. Black belt coming in with the goddamn form. He is coming in with the form. Anybody that practice martial arts with that shit. At black belt being no, I do know. And his father has made all that information public. I'm not a boo-boo fan. I'm a boxing fan. I'm not taking this perspective. I'm taking multiple perspectives. I truly don't know why we can't be a fan of the boxers. Why? If you see a fighter that you've been seeing around, like, let's just say you don't have any access to him on a regularity, right? But you see him at a fight card, you see him, you respect the shit out of him. A fan, yeah, you're gonna go up and say, hey man, I'm so you're gonna introduce yourself as a man and say, do you mind I get a picture? Or that's a fan, dog. I don't know why we have to continue to say we ain't fans. I'm a fan. I can't be a fan of boxing because I don't even know what boxing is. Like, boxing is a single entity. Boxing is basically a canopy where you have fighters competing professionally in a sport. Boxing doesn't have no type of cohesion to it. So how can you hold it in the palm of your thought process and say it is one volume of unit? It's not. Boxing is not a volume of unit. It's not one single unit, bro. We may be able to watch boxing and see people compete in it, but who's in charge of boxing? No one. Who's in charge? You have the WBC to the WBO. We don't know who the fuck is in charge. Where's the president? Why are the commissioners on the same sheet of music? You know what I'm saying? Why aren't the judges judging on the same criteria? Why don't they have, certain prerequisites that they have to go through schooling for them to qualify to sit ringside? You have boxing judges who also grade mixed martial arts. Are they qualified to cross thread if they never competed or trained in combat sports? I'm just saying. Hello, Line Ryan DuckTales has all had more ducks the last 5 years than fights. No lawsuits, 3 parties involved. Mentioned the difference in money. One party said 200K to one guy, 500 to another. Want no contracts, my brother. Go find some content on the fight. Anything pre-fight by Showtime 2 weeks before. No content, no promotion, no ads. Come on now, Ben. You know better. I don't know, Ben. He throwing them high kicks on you. He's got them executing spinning heel kicks. Big Farmer Miller. He said Big Farmer Miller will always have picograms. He's pissing Kim Chernobyl. Man, god damn. Man, he's that contaminated, bro. You think he pissing Chernobyl? God damn. He's saying he has nuclear motherfucking contamination. So he said he pissing a cup. That shit go through the bottom. It burns out the bottom. They have to have him piss in a metal bucket or something. They have to have him piss in the toilet and then scoop it out that way. I don't know. Getting knocked down means you probably got caught flush. Means more chance of getting concussed. Everybody's chin is different neurologically. They're done dollar. That's all I can say about that. I'm unqualified outside the scope of being, giving my professional opinion. King Mitch heard Russia got him running. He was in Chernobyl reacting atomic powers when Russia took over. Damn, dog. Man, Mitch and Ghost, man, just on my boy Miller, dog. Damn. Black Belt said, bro, I don't know where you from, but I live my life by my word. If you can't understand that, I don't know what to tell you. I think he's talking to Ghost. I understand where you from, Ben. I'm just responding, right? I understand that word is everything to certain people. But, across the board, when we're talking about a consensus, a huge consensus, it's impossible for us to understand or know that everybody is sticking by their word. I say all the time, good bows before evil, bro. People lie every day. So I understand that you have some morals and principles. You know what I'm saying? You have some integrity that you saying your word is everything. I get it. But that, when it comes to boxing, these dudes are lied to all the fucking time, dog. Go. So you saying the reason the fight fell through wasn't because of the sign with Rock Nation? Man, no. The reason it didn't happen, like 3 or 4 parties have publicly said for 8 years, is some Showtime did bad business with serious communication issues. Promises wasn't kept. Canelo had little to no amateur experience. He was still learning on the job. So, Don Dada, what are you saying again? We're definitely not talking about Canelo with what? When he faced Floyd Mayweather. So there's no way, if that is what you are referring to, Don Dada, there's no way that you can feel in sound mind and body to come on here and say that Canelo had little to no amateur experience and still learning on the job when he stepped up to face Floyd, because the man who had over 40 professional fights, and you're gonna instinctively devalue what Floyd Mayweather was able to do. You didn't appreciate the clinic that he put on Canelo. Come on, man. Come on there, Dundada. You smarter than that, bro. Canelo is sitting at like 57 right now, victories or something like that. He had over 40 professional fights when he fought Floyd. And that's not ample experience. Who gives a damn about what his what the depth of his amateur experience was? Because look, ain't nobody making that excuse for my boy Deontay Wilder. They say, oh, he fast tracked. He was able to get a bronze medal. He came in here and he fought nothing but subpar competition the entire time, all the way up to 42 victories, 41 knockouts. Very limited amateur experience. So for Canelo Alvarez, who is absolutely excelled, right? We're going to continue to bring up that he was learning on the job when he fought Floyd. You can't use that shit, man. 40 plus professional fights, and that's not enough experience? Come on, man. Man, y'all sounding soft out here. Come on now. They told 200K to one person, 300K to another. I think no contrast was present. Combat Black Americans aren't viewed as Americans by white Americans. We know it's two different Americans. Well, this is, I totally get where you're going with it, but I'm not even going to go there. Not the fact that you brought it up. I'm just trying to stay on topic. And nor am I ducking the topic. I'm just not trying to make this live about, what blacks are and aren't. Because I'm from the South, I pretty much get where you're coming from. But I definitely don't want to go there in that route. And it's not like Andre said, I want him. He simply said, I'm down for December. The date we want is 2 weeks away. And we have no contract. Send me a contract. Let's sign it and go for it. That's just like, once again, you got to be on ground zero, right? Okay, I'm in Tennessee and I'm following Caleb Plant doing media shit. All right. So it's his full team there. You know what I'm saying? And we get in the elevator, my phone is going, and Canelo asked me, he said, can you put that away, please? I just don't want to, you record this conversation. So I said, cool, boom. So now I have to just take everything in to my listening audibles. And they was talking about how, after that, Vincent Feigenboots, they was talking about how David Benavidez was trying to send him a contract to fight at this time. And Caleb was like, no, he ain't forcing me into no fight. And with a short training camp to burn myself out. I'm not doing it. So, but when it hit the media, they would say, oh, Caleb Plant ducked David Benavidez. I was there when they was talking about it. Caleb Plant truly don't like Benavidez. He despised that dude. He do not, seriously. You look in his eyes, you hear him talk, he does not like Benavidez. Fuck whatever that went down between him and Canelo. He truly has a personal disdain for David Benavidez. So when he said he tried to, his people try to present a contract, present, a fight date and a contract or something for him to fight this particular day. He said, shit, I just got out of a fight. They want me to take a week and then get right back in the gym and burn myself out. It's not happening. And it never happened. But, Canelo beat the shit out of Laura. It's the pro ranks, not that pity patty amateur style. Are you talking about I don't know why people be using Canelo's situation. I mean, what's the deal with Loma? Loma has like 1,000 amateur fights, right? What's going on with him? He's sitting on 2 losses right there. Orlando Salido, was he not enough that he couldn't get past, Orlando Salido? And all that amateur experience, he couldn't get past T.O.? Man, we're going to blame it on the shoulder, right? No, man, don't do that, bro. You have a question when you're supposed to autopilot that ish and run it back. No one ever mentioned the offer Charlo turned down, the Canelo offer, and IBF denying his request to unify with Andrade over fighting his Mando. and getting stripped. I think both of them were stripped of their IBF Mando. That's what led. Hey, Don Dollar. That's what led to Sergey Deryanchenko getting 2 shots at the IBF, losing, and then switching over. They put him next door. You know what I'm saying? They gave him a motherfucking nice buddy pass. Hey, take this buddy pass, fly over to the WBC, and we're gonna give you a shot over there. And he went over there and lost. That's when he fought Mar Charlo. They gave that man ample amount of time, man. Wow. Gonna get back to work. Have a good stream. Salute to you all, man. Salute to you pulling up there, Ghost. Thanks for all the info, man, and interaction and everything, man. Shout out to you. No, not the Floyd fight. The fight with Cotto's brother, where he got rocked. Dundada. Oh my God, man. I still think that's a man. Too many people giving excuses for Canelo, dog. So let's do some soul searching. Hold on for a second. Do some soul searching. All right. So let me share screen right quick. So check this out. This is Jose Miguel Colo, Puerto Rico's own, right? This is the caveat off what Dundada said about Canelo, because I really get tired of people making excuses for Canelo, man. He took the L, dog. Look at this shit. Look at Canelo's record, right? Hold on, I passed it. Look at Canelo's record when he fought Saul Canelo Alvarez. Look at that shit. 31-0. 31-0, Dundada. Why are we talking about limited amateur experience? How many fights do you have to have? I don't care if they was in Mexico or not. 31-0. If that's the case, shit, we got fighters that's with less fights that's getting title fights and winning. Shakur Stevenson, he's a 2-weight champion right now. And he don't even have nowhere near the motherfucking fights that Saul Canelo Alvarez. Let's go back. That's 5-20-10. You know what I'm saying? That's 5-20-10. So let's go back over here. And we got Jose Miguel Cotto. We have all these guys, from Mexico. 2 U.S., Larry Mosley and Raul Pinson. But, we see all the Mexican colors. Who's to blame for this shit? It's not me. So you and Dundada, you can't sit up here and make excuses for the man. You can't do it, bro. You can't make excuses for Canelo. It was what it was, man. It was what it was. But man, y'all been good, man. I appreciate y'all for pulling up for real. Man, I got the bounce for real. For real, for real. Thanks for y'all pulling up as always. The support is amazing. Continue to tune in, man, and drop your boxing knowledge. It's always good to get educated. You know what I'm saying? Until next time, I'll probably be on this evening. Turn up and tune in to World Combat.